It has been a pleasure. It's been a lot of anticipation and just a lot of faith in working and establishing what God has called us to establish here in the city of Rochester. Glory House International from day one has been a very special and unique place where people from all walks of life, they come, they find God, and they don't only find God, but they find purpose. And as we are preparing for the next juncture of our life and our ministry, God has given us some very specific directions. And I'm reminded of what he said in Exodus 6. He says, "This is the command I give to you. Hear my voice, and I will be your God, and you will be my people. You will walk in my ways, that all would be well with you." And God has been speaking and giving us some direction for what's next. And I often say this: the people that God brings to your ministry or to your life, it speaks volumes, and it gives a little bit of an introduction of what God is getting ready to do for this ministry. God has brought some dynamic and amazing people that are on different levels and different stages of their journey in growing in God. And so, as we plan and prepare, I want you to hear the testimonies of those who God has brought to our house, to our ministry, and to our community, and hear how God has blessed them, hear how they have grown, and what God has done in their lives here at Glory House International. I'm excited to see the birthing, the building, and the creation of what God is doing here at Glory House International.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm a member of Glory House International, and I became a member since like March this year, online, watching at home when I was fighting cancer. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. But what drew me mostly to Glory House is having had cancer the first time, I kind of got well and forgot about what I was doing for my spirit. But the second time around, having a support network, but more so God, when I was sick, I could hear my grandmother in my head telling me, don't look back, and to find a church home because that is of great importance. I joined the Glory Squad so that I wouldn't have a reason to not come to church and to be of service, wanting to give back. And it became like a family. I love it because I could wear sneakers, jeans. I just come to serve the Lord and do service for God. So from coming here, I've reawakened old dreams, talking with other parishioners, like one specific, Natasha House. We always talk about school, and it drove me. So since being here, I've been accepted to Roberts Wesleyan College. I've talked to Pastor Tim to help me study when it comes to the biblical part, because even though I grew up in church, it's still a lot I don't know because I went left as a kid. So I feel like God has brought me back on the initial path that he wanted me to be on. And I'm just ecstatic about what the future is gonna bring. Pastor Mel is more than a pastor to me. He's more like my family because I've always been around him and his family since I've been here. And it's important to me that your pastor is a person and a good shepherd. And I know I could pick up the phone and call him or text him and ask him anything, and even if it sounds different, but he's gonna answer me and he's gonna respond. And but from the time I came into the door, I felt like this was my family. And we hug each other, we greet each other, and I've gotten to meet so many great people, and I look forward to being a person that makes a new person feel welcome when they come here and not feel alienated because maybe they came from a different walk of life. You know, because when you come from the streets, you think that the church members are gonna look at you differently, but I didn't experience that here at Glory House, and I think that's really important to make people want to come back. To feel welcome means everything.
Hi, I'm Gwen Clifton. I first came to GHI because I was looking for a place where I can love God yet still be free, because I think that God has created for me to be who I am and to be effective by what he has made me to be. When I first came to Glory House, I was broken. I was thinking that people had the same experience as I did. As I got into ministry, I learned very differently. Sometimes popular can cause you pain. being popular can cause you pain. Meaning in the sense of answering your calling can bring you much pain. And I needed a place where I can love God and be free. When I first came to Glory House, I was very open with Pastor Melvin about some of my experiences. And he didn't rush me. He didn't rush me. He did not make me feel less than. He gave me time to heal. But yet at the same time, he always reminded me of who I am, even when the world said I was not. He understands the word that is being spoken, and we can converse back and forth about the word. And not only does he understand it, more importantly, he walks through it. I came broken. I'm whole. My family is whole. What more could I ask for in a place where I can love God freely? That's why I'm at Glory House International.
Hi, my name is Chantelay Williams, and I've been attending Glory House International for 7 years. My husband actually is now one of the minister of music here at the house, but that's initially what brought me here. He was playing the very first service at Rapid Theater, and I was pregnant with our second daughter. And quite honestly, I was, if I could be transparent, completely finished with church. I was like, all right, it's good. There were several reasons why I was at that point, but if I could just bring it all together, I would just say identity and the lack thereof. I really didn't know who I was, what I was doing, or where I was going at the time, which is dangerous, right? I was pregnant. I should know and have some sense of direction because of the fact that I'm having children. That was not the case for me, and I kind of was just meandering through life aimlessly and just hoping the Lord was seeing the little bit I was doing so I could get into heaven, so to speak. I came back to Glory House when they were doing Saturday services at some street off of Hudson, and I went there, and it was a conference going on, and there was an apostle there, and pastor actually ministered directly to where I was at the time. I had just had my daughter, and I was just like, God, you got to say something. And he didn't know that before that service, but I was just like, say something to me or I'm done. I'm done. And he spoke loud and clear about who I was, what I was to do, and where I was going. And from that point forward, under the leadership of Pastor Melvin, it has helped me grow into, slowly but surely, grow into exactly the woman of God that I knew I was supposed to be, but never could put my finger on. But even in ministry, just being able to pray for other people, it's a difference when you're able to see other people do exactly what you desire to do, but didn't know that you had the authority to do so. So the community has helped me grow and sharpen me, so to speak. Like I said, Pastor Melvin's leadership has played a major part. He's been there. Him and his wife, Apostle Ashley, have been there throughout my family's journey. They've seen me at my worst and they've seen me at my best, and never in between did they judge or do anything aside from that would have me question their ability to lead me. Being under their leadership is literally the best thing I could have experienced thus far, because it has caused me to not only challenge myself and to help me grow, but to also see how the Lord thinks of me and what his heart is towards me through them. So,
hi, I'm Dorothy Stinson. I'm born and raised in Rochester, New York, and I'm a member of Glory House International, also known as GHI. I've been a member, this month will be 2 years. What brought me to Glory House, to be honest, was God. I had a dream a month prior to attending the church of me singing on a stage. I am part of the praise and worship team here. The stage was not the stage that was at Favor Street when I first joined Glory House, but it was where we are located today. Confirmation for me as well was the moment we sat in the pews and my son actually had a worship experience, our first visit at Glory House. And he told me when we left that day that I like this church. So as a parent, to hear that from your young child, that this is where they feel they belong, was very impactful. And I knew it was the start of our new church home. The other thing that I love about Glory House is the culture. The culture of family. I didn't come from a very strong family background, but Glory House embraces you the moment you walk through the door like family. All family has their ins and outs, ups and downs, but that's what makes it so genuine because it feels like a legitimate family. The other part was how radical they are for Christ. They worship in every form and fashion, and you can get that in one service if you attend Glory House. My pastors, all of them, especially Pastor Mel and Dr. Ashley, are reachable. They are embracing, they are understanding, and they are human. And that's what makes being under their leadership very comfortable, because they go through real life circumstances and they take it on as a human being and not as pastors. So I consider Glory House home, and home is where the heart is. So if you're looking for a church home, I think Glory House is the place to be.
Been at GHI, or Glory House International, for about 8 months now. What led me here, we was kind of in the, during COVID, we kind of fell back from our previous church, started looking. So we got here, the love was beautiful. It was really dope seeing men working their purpose. That kind of kept me, because men don't really be in the church like that, especially black men. They made sure to, like, they say, it's a saying, they say do life with you, and the leaders that we met with made sure that they tried to do that. They was like accommodating to our situations. They asked what we were trying to do, call-ins and stuff like that. So like, it wasn't just like get here, get to work. And they just kept showing love and like attention to family, understanding. Wasn't huge on like, if you're not here, you're not saved type stuff. What's dope about GHI is the freedom that you get when you walk in here. You can feel it instantly. Got a really diverse group of people, from old to young to all of the races. And it's just a really dope place to worship and feel free being who you are.
I've been at GHI for about 8 months now, and I truly love it here. The community, the village that they give when you first join in, the love and like just the ability to be you is pretty amazing, and just the flow of the Holy Spirit really just makes us feel amazing here. This moment that really solidified us joining the church was back in February when they started the relationship series. It just like the minute we came in, every Sunday service, the sermon was literally speaking to us about friendships, marriage, family issues, and just like finding resolve and making boundaries, because that's what we needed to learn. And in that season of transition from going from my parents' church to another church, it was like a really big transition for us. So coming in that time really like solidified it for us to say, okay, you know what, God, you have been talking to us, and this is where we need to be.
What brought me to GHI, a friend actually invited me. You know, I seen actually the pastors walk into a meeting that we had. And I asked him, like, you know, who is that? And he said, yo, they're my pastors. And I said, word? And my whole perspective, my whole perception was like, pastors, they looked a certain type of way, because I didn't grow up in church. I didn't grow up in the atmosphere of church or anything like that. So when he said that, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, like, you know, they almost look like me, you know? So it grew a curiosity in me. So what from there I came. I joined the church, and the pastor wound up hitting me up, and we wound up talking. I just learned more about him and seeing how great of a person that he was, and just a little bit about his story. He learned a little bit about my backstory, and then I started meeting all these amazing people. And one of the things that I really learned about the community was it's some people that'll meet you where you at, but'll push you to where you need to be. And that was something that I needed at the time, because most of the people I had in my life, you know, although, you know, some of them were some good people, they wasn't doing for nothing for me. They wasn't doing no pouring for me. So I needed something that I can actually be in the atmosphere that I can actually grow. And just Pastor himself, like, he's just somebody that's like literally a stay on you, but to give you that space that you need to truly grow. And sometimes people can feel a little bit claustrophobic with people just being in their face or being, you know, in their space or in their business and stuff like that. And he's just not like that. I never met somebody who literally can inspire somebody but give them that space. It's not like, it's not a force. And from there, we literally just grew a relationship with each other. That's like more than a friend, a brother, even a father-son type of relationship where it's like, yo, that's my guy. Like this is somebody that I'm actually like vouching for, and I don't mind being around. Looking back before, I can't even picture how it was before because I just see so much now. You know, I see so much forward now, and that's the mindset in this place. When you walk in this place, there's a whole bunch of people that's thermostats, people that set the temperatures. It's not thermometers, people who react to the temperature. Everybody around sets the temperature, and when you walk into the atmosphere and leave out, it's your whole life is completely changed. So I'm just forever thankful to be around such amazing people that just want to grow, and just not only they want to grow, but they make me want to grow. You know, because it's all about being inspired, and I'm just inspired, and I'm just thankful to be in such an amazing place.